Today, I'm taking the world's most expensive sleeper train, 1,000 miles, across 4 countries, all the way to London. This is the Orient Express. I'll show you exactly what it's like to live on board, from my grand suite with double bed, living room, an Italian marble bathroom. We'll indulge in fine dining at all 3 restaurants and experience the opulent onboard bar. After breakfast in Paris, we'll cross under the sea to England, transferring to the Wes Anderson designed compartment for afternoon tea, finally arriving into London in the evening. Fancy coming along? Let's pick up our story in Czechia at midday. Good morning from the beautiful city of Prague. We're en route to the station in a provided chauffeur-driven Mercedes. It's fair to say I'm very excited.
Well, hello there and welcome back to the channel. You join me here at Prague station where we're about to get on board at the Orient Express. Without any more to say, let's go and get on board.
Check-in formalities are done swiftly at the Orient Express marked booth within the station. With my bags taken care of, I'm presented with my ticket. For reference, here's one of the original tickets from the 1890s. It's fair to say this train has quite the heritage. Shall we? What a stunning train. Just setting eyes on the historic carriages evokes intrigue and anticipation. It's also caused quite a stir at the station, as it only calls here once a year. After meeting some of the wonderful team, let's proceed over to our carriage right at the very rear of the train. Stepping on board, you're immediately transported back in time. It feels magical and quite unlike any other travel experience.
Well, I can't believe we're on the Orient Express again.
Can you believe it? It genuinely doesn't seem real. But I guess also, talking of back, Millie's back.
I'm back.
Yeah, I know. Catchphrase. Let's embrace it.
One for
It's
the
here
bingo
now.
cards.
It is one for the bingo cards. Well, anyway, welcome to our grand suite. This just seems so surreal. I can't wait to show you all around. Our bags are here to unpack in just a minute, and we'll get on our way on the amazing Orient Express.
So where is our magical journey taking us? Today we'll travel through Czechia, Germany and over into France during the night, arriving into Paris tomorrow morning. After a brief resupply, we'll continue north and across the English Channel, reaching our final destination of London tomorrow evening. Quite the adventure, that's for sure. As we cross the Vltava River, service springs into action. And by service I mean caviar and champagne. It's the Orient Express after all. The ante definitely appears to have been upped, with the caviar served retailing at $250 a tin. Anyway, enough champagne wishes and caviar dreams. Let's have a proper look around our grand suite. Located in the iconic sleeping car 3309, which was built in 1926, and is the very carriage that was stuck in a snowdrift en route from Istanbul, inspiring Agatha Christie's famous Orient Express novel. We digress. Without further ado, our stunning grand suite Vienna. Upon entry you're met with the main living space, featuring a sofa, small dining table with minibar, and the 24-hour butler call bell. The meticulous attention to detail at every turn is nothing short of breathtaking. Let's move into the bedroom. Here you'll find the double bed adorned in 600 thread count Egyptian cotton. There are some modern touches though, such as power outlets and USB charging by the bedside. In terms of storage, there's a small wardrobe, an overhead luggage rack, and most ingeniously, an underbed compartment for your suitcases. Oh, and of course there's a marble ensuite bathroom, which we'll take a proper look at later on. It's at this point we're invited to take lunch in one of the 3 dining cars on board. The maitre d' has assigned us the beautiful Côte d'Azur, built in 1929 as a first-class Pullman and for many years ran the Paris to Calais route. Decorated by René Lalique, you'll find his signature glasswork panels, along with ornate tulip light shades throughout. As Grand Suite guests, we have a 4-person table reserved for our sole use. Even so, it's still quite a tight fit. Right then, our menu. Aside from the caviar available for an additional $500, all other food is included, you'll be happy to know. This includes some Runar Rosé champagne, which I feel would have been a more fitting welcome offering in our cabin. To start, we're served a soft-boiled egg, autumn mushrooms, watercress juice, and apple cider. It's a dish I'd never usually order just reading it, but it worked really well. As we wait for our mains, we glide through the city of Pilsen in western Czechia, known famously for its brewery. So for our entree, we've gone for the guinea fowl stuffed with herbs and a side of sweet potato gnocchi. This is far more in my comfort zone and tastes divine. To close, you best believe we're having dessert. I have the pear crumble with flavoured cream, whilst Millie opts for some off-menu vanilla ice cream. That's the beauty of such a curated experience. Should you want something off-menu, they'll accommodate where they can. It's not all too long before our first stop of the trip. We of course must get out and investigate.
Well, welcome to Cheb. I think I've said that right. Yes, Cheb. And we are basically on the border here with Germany. Got to sort out a few formalities. Basically, there's a new locomotive that attaches to the train at each country, of course. So we've got a few minutes where that's going to be sorted out, and then we'll be continuing on through Germany this afternoon.
Back on the move, shall we take a look at some of the other accommodation on board? First up, the suites, retailing at $25,000 a night. Half the size of the Grand Suite, but without the fixed bed. It also comes with a dual aspect view, which reminds me of the GAN in Australia. And as you can see by night, the sofa converts to a twin or double bed. It also features an ensuite bathroom, of which the same can't be said about the historic cabins, coming in at $10,000. By day, a sofa, and by night, bunk beds. However, this is a far more accurate representation of what you'd originally have had back in the 1920s. And yes, your cabin has just a sink, no ensuite toilet. To use the facilities, you'll have to journey down to the shared one at the end of the carriage. Let's return back to our own Grand Suite and change into something a little more comfortable for afternoon tea. As part of our stay, we're provided with Dolce & Gabbana designed bathrobes, which we can even take home afterwards. Much better. So what does afternoon tea look like on board the Orient Express? Consisting of freshly baked pastries and tiny sandwiches, which are absolutely divine. Complemented by a wide selection of teas, I've gone for a green, and Millie's gone for a Coke Zero, minus points for no DC. What a lovely way to spend our afternoon as we drift through the German countryside.
Well, after a very relaxing afternoon, I think it's now time to get a little smarter. Of course, you probably know by now that on the Orient Express, it's very formal in the evenings.
And they're not playing around either. If you're not dressed smart enough, you'll be sent back to your room to have dinner. I guess we better don our finest attire then. Would you believe a tie has appeared on the channel? Of course, Millie being the highlight here, in her now famous pink gown. Shall we hot-foot it over to the dining car then? We have another new restaurant to check out. Introducing La Oriental. Built in Birmingham back in 1927, the dining car used to run the Paris to Amsterdam service for many years. As with lunch, we'd been assigned our own 4-person table, so let's settle in and take a look at tonight's menu. To continue today's champagne theme, I've ordered a personal favourite, Laurent Perrier Rosé, which naturally goes down an absolute treat. To start, we're served pan-fried scallops with walnut, celery and yellow wine sabayon. Outside the window, we hurtle past Würzburg in the Bavarian region of Germany, with a shy over 700 miles to go to London. For main, we've gone for the Venetian-style beef confit, with a side of porcini lasagna. And finally, we just have to conclude with the hazelnut and chocolate dessert. The night is not over yet, we still have more exploring to do. Walking back through the train, we reach the Côte d'Azur restaurant car, which features a gift shop at the end of the carriage, with champagne flutes and tableware to find jewellery and cufflinks available to purchase. We are, however, in search of something a little more lively, in shape of 3674, the bar car. Built in 1931 in France, where it ran domestic services throughout the country. Today, however, in its new rendition, it's the life and soul of the train, which, and I quote, only closes when the last passenger turns in for the night. In fact, they actively encourage it, with a midnight brunch service offered. With that in mind, let's take a look at the hugely extensive cocktail menu. Millie goes for a Baileys, whilst I choose the house special, a 3674, consisting of gin, lime and bitters. With another big day ahead, we choose not to be the last couple standing and instead head back to the confines of our grand suite.
Well, what a lovely evening and a delicious dinner. What did you think?
It was really nice. There's something truly magical about gliding through the German countryside, heading bound for another country. In fact, we've got 2 more countries on this trip over the next day. I'm just super excited. I'm thoroughly enjoying it.
Yeah, the magic just doesn't go away, does it?
It really doesn't.
Let's get ready for bed then. I've loved wearing this suit tonight, but I'm very much looking forward to getting something super comfy on and getting some sleep. You really don't need to worry about forgetting anything on the Orient Express. Toothbrushes and other toiletry essentials are provided for your use on board. Tomorrow brings us Paris, exploring the rest of the train, and our final sector to London in a never-before-seen Wes Anderson designed train compartment, but for now, it's sleep. I get asked a bunch how will I rest on board trains. In truth, it's improved a lot recently, thanks to not having to worry as much about my personal data being bought and sold online, and it's all down to today's video sponsor, Incogni. They search online for your private data, and within minutes will find where your data appears, and have it removed instantly. When you do pretty much anything online, it's fair to say your data is probably out there somewhere. Data brokers collect this information and charge companies a hefty fee to get access to your data. In the US, there's a massive number of sites where people can pay to get access to your name, address, social security number, and even your financial information. Incogni puts an end to this problem, so whenever a new record pops up, they'll take care of it for me, automatically, giving peace of mind. Incogni are giving you a 60% discount when you use my promo code TrekTrendy at incogni.com/TrekTrendy. Good morning. We slept well, but the bed is certainly on the smaller side. Anyway, breakfast time. This is served by our lovely cabin attendant Rory, directly in our suite, which suits us perfectly. So, what have we chosen? Millie's gone for the VSOE French toast, and myself, the lobster, avocado and caviar on toast, of course. It's not all too long before we trundle into Paris's Gare de l'Est.
Well, it's a very good morning here from Paris. We've arrived and we've got about half an hour here to take on fresh supplies. They've also got to replenish the water and change the locomotive as well, because of course we're continuing on to London.
It sure seems like deja vu being back here, as this is where myself and Millie began our journey last summer on this ferry train all the way to Istanbul. And what a journey that was. Anyway, not wanting to get left behind, let's reboard the train as we head northwards to Great Britain.
I think the most important thing to do now is to make use of these incredible facilities.
So you've seen snapshots of this ensuite bathroom, but my word, it's special and certainly the best I've ever had on board a train.
The best part of the experience, of course, is the shower, something you don't get in the historic rooms on board, and only in the grand suites and the suites. So let's have a shower.
Unlike the aviation equivalent Emirates, there are no time limits on your shower, but there is of course only a finite amount of water, which our carriage can hold, so I won't push it. Feeling fresh after our showers, we're heading back to the bar car, in hopes of a caffeine hit, and to write some postcards. It's tradition after all. Personally, I think the bar car comes into its own during the day. It's truly beautiful. I do wonder what time the last passenger turned in last night though. During our Istanbul trip, the record was set at 6 AM, which I feel is quite the achievement. Each suite comes with a selection of stationery and postcards for you to make use of on board, which I think is so special. I'm served a delicious iced coffee, whilst the French countryside continues to fold outside the window. With our postcards written, let's head over to the dedicated postbox. Apparently they should take a couple of weeks, but then again it's a complimentary service. It's time to check out the remaining dining car, L'Étoile du Nord. Yeah, I probably said that wrong. Built in 1926, this carriage was unsurprisingly run on the North Star service, linking Paris to Brussels and Amsterdam. It's now restored to its former glory and looks absolutely stunning, from the upholstery, carpentry, and of course the iconic marquetry throughout. What's on the menu then? Whilst it's midday, this is labelled as brunch, as other passengers in the historic rooms would not have been offered the same hearty breakfast as us. With this in mind, we'll forgo the caviar and eggs in favour of a more lunch-like option. We've both gone for the scampi ravioli served with green vegetables, and although I'm not the largest seafood fan, it tastes delicious. To close off our admittedly lighter than usual lunch, we just have to indulge in the tart tartan and vanilla ice cream. And as if by clockwork, we're slowly pulling into Calais station, where we'll be changing trains. Well, in truth, it's a little more complicated than that. Let me explain. We'll firstly need to leave our lovely Grand Suite Vienna, which has been an absolute dream over the past 24 hours. Upon hopping off, our brilliant steward Rory helps us with our cases as we wave farewell to the outstanding Orient Express team. Now, you may be surprised, coaches? Well, this is because we need to connect to the next leg of the Orient Express, the British Pullman, and to do so we'll need to cross the English Channel. This means a brief transfer over to the Eurotunnel terminal. Formalities here involve immigration procedures. We'll of course be leaving the EU behind, which means being officially stamped out of France. Our coach then drives physically down a ramp and onto yet another train platform. Now becomes the task of driving onto the train. Yes, you heard correctly, this is very much a thing. It surprises me just how smooth the whole process is, and within a few minutes we're off and under the sea. The tunnel is about 30 miles in length, and we cross its entirety in about 30 minutes, popping out in the south of England. Welcome to Kent. Now just a couple of miles remain as we're driven over to Folkestone West, where we'll catch the British Pullman. Like I said, a bit of a long-winded process. We're invited to relax in the private lounge here at the station with a fantastic 50s inspired live performance. Within no time at all, our train pulls abruptly into the station. These carriages are equally as special as the mainland Europe Orient Express, dating from the 1920s through to the 1950s, and beautifully restored to their former glory. As hinted at already, we're in a carriage designed by Wes Anderson, the American filmmaker who makes some outstanding productions. Let's go and discover one of his latest creations. There's room for 26 passengers across 9 tables and 2 coupes, of which we have the latter. Stepping inside, it's clear that an awful lot of painstaking craftsmanship has occurred to deliver such a spectacular space. Let's stow my bag in the overhead rack and settle into my seat. Within moments the whistle blows and we're off on our final leg through the British countryside.
Welcome on board the British Pullman.
I know, I am so excited. We're back on board. We have actually done this, when did we do this? About 2 years ago, wasn't it?
2 years ago for my birthday.
It was an awful lot of fun, but what's so exciting today is that we're in the Wes Anderson designed carriage. Are you enjoying it so far?
Yeah, it's great.
Well, we're getting settled in, we've got presented with a menu. Let's order some afternoon tea and see what it's like.
To kick things off, we're offered tea. Of course, we're in Britain now. We're also informed our food will be on its way shortly. So, the carriage we're in is named Cygnus, and has quite the fascinating past. It's actually one of the younger Pullman carriages, which had a delayed completion due to World War II, and wasn't finished until 1951. When inaugurated, it ran as part of the Golden Arrow service, which fittingly ran from London to France. Today, at least in part, it continues this luxurious tradition, offering up all kinds of surprises, like the start of our afternoon tea service, from a variety of sandwiches to sausage rolls and caviar madeleines, all freshly made on board. As our next course is prepared, shall we take a peek around the rest of the carriage? You'll see the distinct Wes Anderson creative flair throughout Cygnus, from the wing-back chairs, emerald green upholstery and intricate marquetry. It's truly a masterpiece of craftsmanship. Practically speaking, there are 2 lavatories in the carriage, which are equally as impressive. Just look at the mosaic floor for one. Now please do correct me if I'm wrong here, but I'm on the understanding that the toilets work in an authentic manner, meaning we're advised not to flush these at the platform, as, well, they empty right onto the tracks. Back in our coupe, shall we continue the afternoon tea proceedings? Firstly, scones, either lemon and poppy seed or plain buttermilk. And of course the all-important question, cream or jam first? To those in the know, I do it the Devon way. Finally, we're served a selection of seasonal pastries. All in all, absolutely fabulous. As we wind ever closer to London, I'm presented with a surprise Belmond bag. What could it be, you ask? Well, it's a pristine piece of marquetry signed by Wes Anderson himself. As a huge fan, this is an incredible touch, and certainly something I'll treasure. Okay, the question on everyone's lips right now, how much did all this cost? Well, as usual, I paid for this myself, but with quite the twist. Unfortunately, this ferry itinerary is no longer available. This was the last operation of the connection through to London on the British Pullman. Now Belmond only run the Orient Express as far as Paris, with an onward connection to London via Eurostar. But for comparison, this year's Prague to Paris trip you'd be paying around $28,000. But as I said, there's a twist with my booking. Due to the issues faced on my Paris to Istanbul journey last summer, I was provided with credit for future bookings, of which I've redeemed for this trip, meaning the cost to me was zero. So whilst this is the world's most expensive train, I guess it was also the cheapest in this scenario. Crazy, right? Unfortunately, we're nearing the end of our incredible journey. Lastly, I'd like to give a special thanks to every single one of you. Having just hit 1 million subscribers, I couldn't do this without you, so thanks from the bottom of my heart for all your support and for watching my videos. It truly means the world.
Welcome to London.
Welcome. We finally arrived after the last 2 days on the rails. It's been one incredible adventure. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you all again next time.
Bye.